Hey guys, what's up? This is Brian with GamesUnderPressure.com, and today I'm going to take a look at the newly remastered Resident Evil Remake. Now, this is a remake, or up-rezzing really, of the 2002 GameCube Resident Evil, which in and of itself was a remake of the 1996 Resident Evil on the PlayStation 1. So I'm pretty pumped to get into this. I'm curious to see just how the game looks, what they decided to enhance, what they decided to leave alone. I've heard some mixed things about the visuals, so I'm sort of curious. Let's get a new game here. Now, you're immediately greeted with some options here. I'm going to go with the wide display just so it'll look a little bit better on YouTube. If you're sort of into that nostalgia, you can take a look at the original, which is the 4:3 aspect ratio. The controls, I'm not a huge fan of the tank controls from the original, so I'm going to check and see what the alternate is like. And subtitles, you sort of have to leave on with the terrible voice acting. So let's give it a try. This is the medium difficulty here, so I'll do that. That's good. A lot of people forget just how damn hard the original Resident Evil is. Very, very unlike Resident Evil 2 and 3 and every subsequent Resident Evil. They're really stingy with the ammo. You really have to conserve resources. Your inventory is very limited, so you have to use that in a lot of ways. There are a lot of people that don't like the original Resident Evil. They started with Resident Evil 2, and that's what they're sticking with.
Where we are searching for the helicopter of our compatriots, Bravo team, who disappeared during the middle of their mission.
Haven't found it yet?
No, not yet, Bizarre murder.
What's immediately recognizable is the cutscene here. It seems up-rezzed, but it does not look like it's native 1080p. But at the same time, it doesn't look like it's standard definition either. It looks a little bit sharper than that, but still dull. So it's hard to tell exactly what this is running at.
Bravo.
What's interesting is, just looking at this, there appears to be some banding in the image, which means that it's using a lower color gamut, which is interesting. Parts of it almost look interlaced.
We continued our search for the other members, and it turned into a nightmare.
It's amazing just how far technology has come in a little bit more than a decade. It's weird to think that we're at that point where current games are looking much better than cutscenes 14 years ago. The animation still sort of holds up. I mean, it's not bad. It's very low detailed, and you know, there are issues with it, but it still holds up pretty well.
Chris, this way.
Good old Western. And Barry. You gotta love Barry.
Make for that mansion!
Of course, run towards the creepy mansion. Although if I were being chased by zombie dogs, I don't know. Maybe I would probably check out the mansion or run up a tree. Maybe run up a tree like a cat. Enter the survival horror. When you hear that, it sort of brings you back, because
Only 3 stars
this
from
game really created a genre. This game launched the survival horror genre. There had been
we don't know where
other horror games up until that point. I mean, you had games like, Splatterhouse and things like that,
Everyone all right?
but never a game that was purposely, psychologically a horror game.
No.
And of course, we've seen all the games that were influenced by this. Every modern horror game takes some cues from Resident Evil.
Chris?
So just from a nostalgia standpoint, it's sort of cool to go back and see even though the visuals have been upgraded, it's interesting to see the sort of the heritage of a lot of these other games, modern games. All right, now I kind of sort of only vaguely remember what I'm doing, so forgive me if I'm a little Now what's interesting is I'm on the alternate control scheme, so you'll notice that I can run around a lot more smoothly than if I was just using the original control scheme, the tank controls. So in the alternate control setting, the left thumbstick just controls his direction, so you don't have to sort of swing the camera or swing the his body around and then press forward. It's very natural. Now you still need to press the left bumper if you're on the Xbox One, or LB if you're on the PlayStation 4, and then RB or R1 to swing the weapon. But the movement itself is much better. I can already tell that it's going to make going through this game much easier. So now let's trigger the zombie. This very classic sort of cutscene here. Very simple, but it's a classic. You gotta love it. Still moderately creepy after all those years. But of course, I don't want to take on the zombie with just my knife. I gotta go back and get the gun. Yeah, and I'll show you something that's that I noticed when I first came into the mansion. Here we go. The textures. This cutscene to be over.
Wesker? Jill? Where did they go?
Take the gun. Hell yeah, I want to take the handgun. So what's interesting here, and it's a little bit weird, but the character model seems like it's new, right? They up-rezzed it, they redid the character model, but the pre-rendered backgrounds are lower res, and you get this really weird juxtaposition between a textured background that is a little bit lower res and this highly detailed character model, and you almost get like a weird almost outline look on him, almost like a Street Fighter kind of look on him when you're walking around. And I think that's just because of the weirdness between the textures. I'm playing this on the PlayStation 4, so I'm curious to see what it would look like on the PC at even a higher resolution, like 4K or even like 1440p, to see if the difference between those textures and the character models are even more apparent. But as it is right now, it's a little bit weird. I mean, it takes a little bit of getting used to. It reminds me a little bit of Roger Rabbit, where the animation is super crisp, but the film, isn't quite as high fidelity as that, and you get this weird disconnect that I think in that movie was intentional. But here, they're just working with old assets, and that's sort of tough. the gun and take care of Mr. Zombie Head. The control scheme does make a huge difference. I mean, the controls, don't get me wrong, the controls don't feel incredibly modern, but they are a big improvement over the tank controls. And I mean, the animations hold up really well. Even the zombie, whoa, he's still alive. There's the blood. You know, the character models hold up pretty well. I'm sure they redid some. On good old Kenneth. Gotta grab the film. Now, I have a vague sense of what to do here. I know like 3 or 4 steps here. Oh, and this is kind of cool. Here, check this out. So this is something that I don't think was in the original game, just that lighting. It's dynamic because you can see the shadow right there. That's something that I don't think they had in the original. Dust particles flying through the air, that's pretty cool too. Overall, I mean, that lighting actually looks pretty good. Now, on the character model, you can see the pretty close-up view here. You know, it's high res in the fact that it's sharp, but at the same time, like some of the textures leave a little bit to be desired. You know, that like the hair is really simple, the forearm is simple, some of the clothing is simple, and I can see why Capcom did that. Number one, they want to stick very close to the original in terms of the aesthetic look and some of the assets in the game, but you know, if they gave him a super detailed look, I think it would clash with the rest of the environments. I think there's ammo here. Is there ammo here? Yep. It's all coming back. And the controls here, that you still get that weird reversal, and I think there are a few zombies in here. You get that weird reversal where the camera shifts, and all of a sudden the controls are inverted, or they're the opposite. Right, yep, right there. Get the nice reflections. That's kind of a cool touch. I don't know if that was in the original game or not. Wait for the blood. So you get that weird inverted control thing, but even still, if I remember correctly, you examine this. It can be removed. Okay, cool. It's all coming back. I believe that was originally... Oh, I don't want to go in that room. That's the room of death. I know originally those were to hide loading screens. But it just gives you a really cool sense of nostalgia when you see that again. Sort of that loading screen from Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Or even when you see the game in next-gen ports, you know, or like on the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, whatever it is, you gotta love those loading rooms. I mean, it's still a very atmospheric game. It gets a lot right. I think you go through here. I think this is where it is. right? I believe that's locked, yep. I believe it's here. Yep. You actually have to go in and say use. Nice. Yeah, see, you got some cool dynamic lighting there. And I don't remember if that's new or not. Yeah, and this is a creepy area. Yeah, sure, I'll take the Book of Curses. That sounds super safe in the creepy mansion with the coffin hanging above you. Take the Book of Curses. Shells, I count. Nah, inventory space. Let me see what the Book of Curses is. Sure. Mansion key. Mask that speaks no evil. Mask that smells no evil. Smell or see evil. When all four fall into place, evil will awaken. I don't know. If I were Chris Redfield, that would be a puzzle that I don't know if I would want to solve, you know? You just know something's going to drop from that coffin, and the mansion is creepy as shit as it is. Do you really want to solve the puzzle? Now, I forget what that key opens. I'm just going to sort of wander around here aimlessly. I do remember the statue here. Push it. Oh, not so fast. Whoa. Shit, no. No, Mr. Zombie. Looks like he's wearing a wig. Oh, come on. I thought that would take him out. Alright, thank you. Wait for the blood, wait for the blood. No blood? Are you? Oh my gosh, are you kidding me, buddy? There, now, you ain't coming back. Can I push my nude statue? It'd be great if you just carried around one of the boobs as an item, even if you never used it. Or maybe it'd be even better if there was a boob puzzle. That'll unlock a giant boob monster. And again, I have no idea where I'm going. Oh, and so is he. He's on a little nightly walkabout. Oh, it's an undead party in here. I think I might be running. No, I should be able to kill. Now, it's not the smartest idea to kill every zombie that you see in this game. Just because it does get... Ammo does get very limited, especially on the hardest difficulty. Okay, buddy, you gotta be pretty close to death. Alright, I think I'm pretty close to death. Yep. So I'm gonna come back. Because no thank you. Oh, a defensive dagger. Yes, I will. Thank you. These are handy. For taking out zombies who attack you. You can shove a knife into their face. Get them off of you just long enough to either run away or take them out with a gun. So I'm gonna go and get one of those green herbs, maybe carry a few of them. I should have taken that bird room. You know, I'll get the herb. Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, like, Resident Evil is one of those love it or hate it games. And not even necessarily like Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3. I don't know anybody who played those games and didn't love those games. But Resident Evil, you know, in my experience, just talking with people who like the franchise and have played every game in the franchise, it's really, you know, love it or hate it. I think people are a little bit turned off by the quantity of the puzzles and the quantity of the backtracking and the lack of ammo and the difficulty of the game. And I'm not saying it's like impossibly difficult by any stretch of the imagination. It's just not as easy as other entries in the franchise. Take these two, combine them, because why the hell not? Get some green cocaine. You snort that, and you are back. I am noticing a occasional stutter, and I don't know what that is between camera shifts. It's very infrequent. I've only noticed it like 3 or 4 times, but it's there. And I forget, you know what, I'm gonna save it. Or you know what, I could live, you know what, no, I'm gonna live on the wild side. Now where was I? Bunch of knickknacks. Do I have to? I don't want to take it. Yeah, oh boy, those textures are bad right there. Holy cow. I don't know why those look terrible. Yeah, just look at how blurry the edge of the table is. Boy, that looks bad. That's probably the worst. It doesn't really bug me most of the time, but that just looked really bad. That was a muddy mess. A crumpled memo. Today, Sir Spencer told me to hide something where no one could find it. Well, I had this idea. I figured if I could somehow have it protected by a dangerous animal like the vicious canine that lives here, no one would be able to get near it. Great idea. As far as I can tell, the mutt is always hanging around the second floor balcony on the west side of the terrace, and he ought to come running at the sound of a dog whistle. This is where you come in. The thing is, I reckon you're the only person that can get near that damn dog without risking a serious mauling, which means only you can put this collar on him. The object that Sir Spencer wants hidden is concealed inside. You're the only person I can trust with this, of course. You'll get something out of it as well. Remember that certain item that you've always wanted to get a hold of? Well, in exchange for your services, I might just be able to get it for you. This could work out well for the both of us. John Tolman. Let's check out... I forget exactly where you use it, but we'll see. Somebody had writer's block. Oh boy. I don't like you, sir. Let's see what's behind door number 2. Hopefully some ammo so I can fight my way out of it. Just some wacky weed. Of course there aren't any. Alright, look, I gotta go. Look, I gotta go out. But first... Oh, or not. Okay. Oh, you went down there, you little bit. The control scheme almost makes it a little easier. You're not fighting the controls. You can sort of dance around zombies and move around, and I don't know, it feels a little bit different. Special instructions for the disposal of dead bodies. We have new information regarding those beings. They may appear to be dead, but in fact, they are able to come back to life. However, there are ways to prevent them from becoming active again. Currently, there are 2 known methods to cease their resurrection: incineration and destruction of the head. If further methods are discovered, you will be notified immediately. Meanwhile, to those who still have the will to live, oil has been placed on the first floor of the mansion. Take as much as you need. You'll need something to light it with, which you'll need to find by yourself. Thankfully, I've got a little lighter. This stupid inventory system. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to save it really quick. Oh. Put the herb in here. Sure, I'll take it. Saved. Oh, you know what? I want to do some inventory stuff first. Which I could use desperately. I'll take this. Or not. I won't take that. Put the ink ribbons in there. I probably need the dog whistle. Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna take a risk, put the knife in there. I got 30 rounds. Oh, can I combine? I do think I need this. Oh, you know, never mind. Because so I'll put that in here for now. Why not? And I'll keep one inventory space open. Just in case. Oh, no, there we go. Can they go up the stairs? Not only that, they can do it while merging with a wall. Now watch, I'm gonna go through every single round I have. Ammo goes so fast in this. Wait for the blood, wait for the blood. I can see, there we go. That sucks. I just went through all my ammo. So I'm gonna go back and get my knife. And this is, again, where the textures are really bad in here. And you can see just the juxtaposition between the character model and the rest of the environment. I mean, it looks borderline weird if you look at those boxes. Man, they are stretching those assets right to the limit. You can see the compression there. I mean, obviously it was never meant to be this high res. So it's almost like blowing a photo up too much. Everything becomes blurry and sort of like this muddy mess. And that's what you have here. It's not, I mean, I'm not complaining. I have a very realistic expectation of what this game should be. And apart from, you know, spending millions of dollars to redo all the art in this game, you know, this is the next best thing, and I'd much rather have a game where the textures look blurry but it's still playable. They obviously added a lot to this. It's really fun just to play through a classic like this again. So not complaining, just really happy with it so far. The new control scheme is definitely worth it. Herb shit. It seems that when the textures are a little bit lighter, they come through much better. I mean, like, this is a dark hallway, and the textures, whenever you get to a dark hallway, the textures just a little worse. Like that, you know, you lose sort of all the detail there. Again, not complaining, just sort of, I have a feeling if you like this game, you're gonna like this port. But if you don't like Resident Evil, this port's not going to do anything for you. Me, I love going back and seeing the game that sort of started it all. I mean, really, this gave birth to a genre. So it's incredibly fun, just as sort of like a gaming historian, you know, to go back and just see where, you know, the modern day horror game, where its origin was. I'm just sort of wandering. Forgive my aimlessness. I think I can I use the little key here? Sure, I'll use it. Oh yeah, I remember this. The controls reverse every time the camera changes. This is so cool to see again. It just all comes back. Maybe there's something there. Is this where I use the whistle? Yep. Come on. Oh boy. Man, this thing is. Did I get it? There we go. Alright, I took a little bit more damage than I wanted to. But I got the collar. Sure. Examine it. Oh, the armor. Oh, there we go. The image. Oh, I think I know where that goes. That goes in the armor room. That makes me happy. Let's leave the bloodstained wooden boxes alone. I think that's pretty good. All right, my inventory. Pull out one of those ink ribbons. Save it, just to be cautious. The inventory is so limited. 6 spaces, it drives me crazy. And do I have my knife? I have a vague sense of I think that's like one of those crimson head zombies. Really freaky. Unlike the slow-moving zombies, they sort of rush you. Or do I go back here? I think is what I'm looking for back here. I'm looking for that room with the armor. It sort of not crushes you, but tears you up. Yeah, the camera's still jarring. Even after all these years. Way? No, nope. Yes, nope. Was that a dildo on the floor? Oh. Will you take the dildo? Yes. See, I forgot. I want to say it's a I'm trying to do this on very old memories. It's a very old memory. All right, well, that will about do it for this video. Thank you for watching, and be sure to give me a thumbs up below, and please subscribe. I'm going to be doing a lot more videos like this, just quick looks or let's plays. Got some opinion shows and just some cool game content. So please subscribe, leave a comment below, and thanks for watching.